In case you're new here, I'm Ellie and this is Lou. 4 years ago, we purchased an abandoned homestead property in North Idaho and have been building an off-grid cabin ever since. Then, in July of 2024, we purchased a home on acreage also in North Idaho and have moved out there in hopes of creating a self-sufficient farm and homestead. Make sure to subscribe and follow along on our journey. As any homesteader, farmer, or person who enjoys the outdoors, summer is a busy time filled with beautiful weather, outside activities, and a never-ending supply of projects. This summer, our homestead experienced a lot of change and it kept us on our toes. This was our first summer out on our new property, and we did our best to film and keep our audience updated with what we were working on. Unfortunately, time got away from us, and while we continued to film, starting in late May, it became harder and harder for us to edit and post a video. This video aims to give you an update on what we accomplished this summer. I spent a lot of time working on fun little projects that were small enough that I could complete them in one day, including this chicken ladder I built from trees around the property. Our sheep continued to grow by leaps and bounds, and Luke finished this somewhat portable sheep shelter that we can move around the property. Because we were so busy this summer, I had to be efficient with my chores so I could accomplish things in a timely manner. One of my least favorite chores was emptying and refilling the duck water pond. I found this cast iron water pump from Vever, and I was able to use it to drain the pond and also use the nitrogen-rich duck pond water to water my garden. Setup was really easy, and it came ready to go out of the box. I opted for a plug-in version rather than a wireless version because I knew I would be running this pump a lot and I didn't want to drain a battery fast. It did not come with hoses, so I used two of mine, one to pull water and one to spray water. You'll see here that I made a huge mistake and sprayed the duck potter wand on the grass. Do not do this. I gave the grass nitrogen burns and killed it by doing this. However, my garden plants love the duck pond water. Having this heavy-duty pump was a huge help, and I was able to get this chore done quickly each week. Check out the link in the bio if you are interested in one of these or any other Vever products. I also tried my hand at gardening for the first time this summer. While I'm definitely not a master gardener by any means, I'm proud that I was able to get things to grow from seed. The harvest was not impressive by any means this year, but I learned a lot and I'm already looking forward to next year's garden. We also did some traveling this summer. However, before we left our small farm, we had to deal with our small, fat, fluffy escapee, Jack Jack. I built him a small pen that he could stay in while we were out of town. We referred to this pen as Jack Jack's prison. We visited my family in interior Alaska and spent some much-needed time enjoying the midnight sun in the last frontier. While summer is usually peak fire season in Alaska, we were lucky and the smoke cleared slightly while we were there. That's crazy. That thing's been on the river as long as I've been alive, I bet. Fun fact, I used to work here, and it was one of my first real jobs in high school. After returning to Idaho, we got to work. You guessed it, building more fences. As late summer began to set in, we started the process of securing hay for our animals over the winter. What started as a simple run to a nearby town to get a few tons of hay turned into an all-day affair. Our old steel stock trailer blew a tire, and after multiple attempts to patch said tire, we gave up. Went back to get one of our other trailers to move the hay onto so we could get it home. Moving 2 tons of dusty alfalfa on the side of a busy highway was not how we planned to spend our Saturday, but that's farm life. We eventually got a new tire for the trailer. Shout out to Perfection Tire in Coeur d'Alene for great service. And we were able to finally bring our little trailer home. In the final weeks of summer, we were so busy around the farm, we barely had any time for anything other than chores, let alone editing and posting a video. We were also able to get the horse trailer updated with new tires. So I got the call this morning that the chicks are at the post office. I'm headed in, and I don't know what to expect. I don't have high expectations, honestly, because I've heard so many horror stories of people who buy chicks and have them shipped and they all die. All right, well, I am absolutely terrified. I got the box, I'm headed home. Thankfully, I live pretty close to the post office, where our house is. It's a very small box. I'm curious if there's actually 25 birds in there. I don't want to open it until I get home. I guess we'll find out. As if we weren't busy enough, we decided to order another round of meat birds to raise. Having learned a few lessons from our first experience raising birds, we built bigger brooders and kept our chicks in the shop. Finally, a big highlight of our summer was bringing home my new horse, Velvet. Now that summer's over and fall is here, we've got a lot to do on the homestead before winter hits. Follow along to see how we tackle the changing of the seasons here on our North Idaho homestead.